Well, good morning, or it could be evening, or it could be afternoon. It could be today, it could be tomorrow, it could be a year from now. But I say welcome to Mental Health Wednesdays. We are here to have a special guest this morning. Mental Health Wednesdays is an opportunity to meet some survivors that have been diagnosed with mental health diagnosis. And what we're going to do is that we're going to learn from these people that we have on this show how to deal with life, how they deal with their situation, and how they function in society, regardless of any preconceived notions that they might have or what other people think about it. They simply are functioning and enjoying life, and that's what this program is about. This program is about the opportunity to show you that there is hope and that you can enjoy a living, you can enjoy life. I see that Christopher Casson is with us. I also see that we have Adam Chelton, our dyspraxic champion. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to invite let's see, I need to search on this one here. So we want Christopher. And so we're going to meet Christopher here in just a moment. Let's see. Here we go. Christopher. And I need to put a last name in here because I have a few Christophers. All right. So that's done. Christopher Casson. Now we're going to invite him in. Let me tell you a little bit about Christopher. Super guy. Now I met Christopher. I watched him in the next Impactor competition last year, and so that's how I got to know him. Was through that competition. He was actually one of the top 5 finalists with the next Impactor. Now I'm hoping that went. Okay, he's been invited. Okay, so we've got that part done. Hopefully we will not have any technical difficulties. And I wanted to also mention, the reason that we're inside today is because it, in fact, is raining this morning. So it's raining out there. That's why we're in here. A little bit warmer, too. We finally got some cold weather. So I sent Christopher a message here, an invite. Hopefully he will get that. If he doesn't get it, then that's fine. Come on back. Send me an invitation then, Christopher. Let's get you on this program and get to know you as well. And then talk about some of the... Oh, here we go. Okay, so maybe it just works better this way. I'll approve that. I got the message from him. We'll add you to... And hopefully just in a moment, everything will go well. And there he is.
There we go.
Awesome. So far, so good. No technical issues to speak of.
Nope, not
So
yet.
that's awesome.
But
Not yet. Okay, yeah, that yet is there. That's a real deal, isn't it? Yet. And we're going to probably talk about yets because, in fact, if you haven't yet started to enjoy life, we're going to show you how we do that. So I want to tell you just a little bit, though, about Christopher. I was saying, Christopher, that I came across you in the next Impactor competition and that you were one of the top 5 finalists. And I'm so proud of you for that. And as well, I get to work with him as a volunteer for Chemo Buddies for Life for our upcoming event on December 3rd. That's Giving Tuesday. We have a give-a-thon. We'll be streaming live for 36 hours. And Christopher is in charge, really, of the healing through art. And I actually learned a little bit about him in getting to know him a little bit better. And I understand that you are a photographer. I didn't really realize that. I knew you were an artist. That much I knew. But you're a professional photographer at that. You also have some graphic arts design experience and dynamic individual for real. Now, you're living in Valparaiso, Indiana currently. And I'm really honored that you decided to come on my show. And just to let everybody knows, I mentioned it a few minutes ago, we're not outside because it's raining. Okay, so I just didn't want to sit out in the rain and get all wet.
Yeah.
And there's
I'm
no
not.
sun. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not outside because it's 9 degrees here. So
It's 9 degrees. Well, and I didn't check the weather this morning, but I can assure you it's cool. But then our cool is not 9 degrees. It's more like maybe
maybe
if
like the
it's that.
60s or
Yeah, I'm thinking
yeah,
maybe 68 or something like that
that's
this
heaven
morning.
for
Maybe
me.
60. Yeah, maybe 65, but I just don't think it's that cool. Um, so welcome. This is the Sunrise Daybreakers broadcast. By the way, we welcome in a brand new day. This is part of my routine, and today is Mental Health Wednesday, and we have Christopher Casson with us here. So, Christopher, I really appreciate you being here, like I said. And I want you to tell us about, what motivated you to, step outside that quote box that people might have perceived with a person with autism and to do the things that you're doing and to make the impact that you're making, in our communities. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a continual process. It's not just one thing. There's like a bunch of comfort zone boxes you have to eventually get out of anyway. But for the first one, well, it was more about just me deciding that I was not going to be the label anymore, and just do something such as simple as asking, because for those that might not know, it could be pretty hard to you know speak out and be in front of, even in this live stream as well.
Right.
It's a bit of a comfort zone
That's
thing,
Yeah,
and
is that
just
you still feel uncomfortable going live, or are you getting more comfortable doing that?
it usually gets uncomfortable at first, but when things get rolling along,
Hmm.
um, um, and I'm not used to doing these so early in the morning, and especially with
Right.
today where I'm going to do three live streams, so that's it
Oh my
again.
God.
So it's
And you
just
were on live yesterday with Tamara, is that not correct? I hadn't gotten a chance to
um,
see that, but you were with
that's
Tamara Hunter, or is that today?
um, that's today.
Oh,
So
that's today. Well,
late,
then I didn't miss it. Great.
yeah, that's
Awesome.
later in the evening for my live stream show through Autistic Eyes. So
Okay.
anyway, to get back to your question, the first time was
Yes.
more of I was at college at the time, and and I'm basically surrounded by people in the cafeteria, but it still felt like I was alone, so to speak.
Hmm.
In that depressed state, because I was dealing with so much, what felt like at once with, dealing with college life, trying to
Right.
adapt to society when, at times it feels like they don't want me, and just dealing with one death after another, and this
Mm.
close circle of family and friends, then I was going for a degree in computer animation, which I was into video games at the time, wanting to create my own video game, be that entrepreneur kind of thing. But at the same time, I was like, how am I going to do that with no coding, not being able to speak out? Hey, Kimberly Lechnick, she was actually in the same team I was in, the next Impactor, actually. So go
Hmm.
Team Jason. But anyway, and then I overheard a group of people that, they're my classmates. They were talking about starting a video game, which is what I always wanted. And it was just at that point where it was like, okay, either you go for it now, or you could just sit here in your pity party for the rest of your life. And it took quite a lot of energy to just push myself out and just do something as simple as just asking. And I did. And
Hmm.
they openly accepted me because they knew I was good at drawing and doing could do concept off with them. And while the game didn't go anywhere because of trying to find a programmer, because I'm
Hmm.
certainly not good at programming, but
Right.
eventually just became new friends, and it just kept the snowball effect eventually. So eventually I pushed myself out further with joining an internship, which at first I didn't feel like I was worthy of it to even try to sign up. But again, it was someone I knew from class, so I pushed myself again there, and then pushed myself further with, okay, going to a noisy cafe, see how long I last, and then
Okay.
eventually towards that first trip, which was only a 30-minute drive, but felt like going across the states for me. And
Sure.
eventually I did go across the states with traveling all the way to Colorado and back to visit the Rocky Mountains to take photos, and did that all solo with me getting my own Airbnb, me playing everything out by myself, and
Uh-uh. See, I mean, highly functional,
well,
and
there's still some issues that some things are not going to go away
okay,
100%, but you could
right.
always try to work your way around it.
Well, it, environmentally, when we get out into situations and experiences come upon us, even myself, we can be all of a sudden overwhelmed by a situation that happens, and maybe uncertain how to respond to that. Um, but it is about thinking, is it not? It's about the kind of thoughts that you put into your head,
Yeah.
and how you then respond. I would say respond, because I don't like that word react, although, we can react. But that's a conscious thing. It's a matter of that subconscious, and working on that.
Yeah,
So,
that's just that
you
mindset, really.
it is about mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's still something I'm actually still going through because, of course, I'm going through that 12-week program of Anton J and Jason, so that's
Okay.
been a lot to adapt that I'm still working through, but I'll eventually get there. So,
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, life, I think, is a constant growing and learning process. I know it is for me. I've had to learn a lot about how to deal now for myself personally. I had been diagnosed with mild bipolar, certainly with depression, absolutely 100%. Now, but in my case, I felt that it was like really related to my drinking. That's what my problem was drinking, and certainly some drugs involved, but the drinking thing. And I just say to myself, well, no wonder when you're sitting there drinking, you're messing your life up. You're not being accountable to anybody. No wonder I was depressed. No wonder I
mm,
had anxiety. No wonder I had
yeah.
mood swings and stuff like that. Um, And so I think the message there is that it really doesn't matter. Christopher is showing us that, it doesn't matter what you might be, quote, diagnosed with, that, if you have the right mindset, you can move forward, and you can enjoy life. And I think that that's what it's about. Now, what I'm excited about too, as well, and looking forward to developing a relationship with you, is the fact that you are a photographer, and that nature is really important to you. How does nature play a role in what you're doing? Why are you inspired by the nature?
Well, it kind of goes back to when it was just before I decided to start photography. I was just cycling along the county roads and whatnot, and
Hmm.
just I was originally just taking photos because I was in the middle of trying to, well, make an attempt at creating a video game, more of an adventure game, and wanted some reference photos for like naturey stuff since it was going to be in that kind of setting, and it just kind of clicked for me, and for some reason that also just happens to, just be a lot more relaxing being around nature rather than just staying at home all the time, and
Right.
it just grew from there. So,
Hmm. I found for myself that nature was really a grounding thing, and that's kind of like the foundation of what I do. I mean, it's evolved from my first videos of, well, okay, here's the sunrise. We're welcoming in a brand new day. We're making a connection to nature, making this connection ultimately to source is where it ended up. And then today, we've got themes for every single day during the week, and being today Mental Health Wednesday, you know. it's about, for me, is to offer the opportunity to have people like yourself that can share with others and inspire them to be able to take some action to try and step outside their box. And now, do you have routines that you do that help you with this as well?
Well, I've been trying to, look up read up on different philosophies,
Mm-hmm.
getting more meditation in my routine, just to go inward a bit, and
Mm-hmm.
even start trying, new things such as growing herbs, because at
Mm-hmm.
least you actually work to actually grow something that, and kind of kind of inspiration, but with the Midwest weather, the heat kind of, killed them off, but I still made that attempt regardless,
Mm-hmm.
and learned some new
Mm-hmm.
lessons, and that's the thing you have to keep in mind. Don't always focus on what is, just what you want it to be. Just focus on what is, and just
Mm-hmm.
learn for it. So from now on, I'm probably just gonna grow herb indoors, just to be able to
Mm-hmm.
have better control over their environment, so to speak.
Right,
So,
right. So
and that's
it's
just
gotten
the key
pretty
thing.
cold up there. Now, do you have snow on the ground up there?
Oh yeah, it's just snowed a ton like yesterday. So
Oh, wow. So that does certainly, that makes you want to have a like a greenhouse or something, or a room within your house or something to do this stuff, huh?
yeah, I'm just gonna grow 'em in front of the window of the
Yeah.
bedroom here, really, because I
Okay.
already have like
Yeah.
a few plants that I water every now and then. It's like low
Right.
maintenance, so that
Right.
if I'm on a big trip like the one upcoming, you know, they'll still be there, still be well. So
So what's your plans here? You got some things coming up, and tell us about that.
in a few weeks, I'm actually going on a big international trip because last year I got quite a bit of surprise of my life because a longtime friend of mine from all the way back in second grade, he got tired of being in Northwest Indiana for so long, so he decided to kick it off with a big trip to Cambodia and Thailand. And he just told me flat out, "Hey, I want to take you along with me for this
Mm,
first big trip." So, and
awesome.
I didn't think I was going to be able to do it until like maybe 10 years time. So, you know, funny how
Mm,
something like that happens. And so in
mhm.
a little over a week, I'll be on that plane to Cambodia and visiting Angkor Wat, taking photos
Wow.
and recording videos for vlog videos,
Uh-huh.
and then going to Thailand,
Uh-huh.
uh, visit different places there, and then spend New Year's in Bangkok before heading back.
That's really awesome. Yeah, it's on my bucket list to travel the
Yeah,
world. I want to do that. I really
yeah,
do.
same here,
I tell
same
you,
here. We
there's so much else to experience and to enjoy. Now, I'm gonna live vicariously as I move forward here because, Live with Nature is going to be having reporters all over the globe reporting back from their communities and
yeah,
doing film and doing vlog and photos. And so I'll live vicariously through that part of it because they'll bring me their community. But then I'm looking forward to getting on that plane and traveling and just experiencing
yeah,
it for myself because there's nothing that replaces actually just being there,
yeah.
and experiencing it.
Yeah, it's a lot
Um,
better than just binge watching Netflix for days on end. So,
yeah, exactly. Isn't that a beautiful thing these days? The binge watching that and
yeah,
the broadcasters realized, hey, people will sit down there and watch this for hours, or they'll watch it and then they'll come back and they'll just keep on watching all the episodes so they can quote catch up on what's happening
yeah. And
that they
before,
missed.
people used to just schedule their days around watching an episode that airs at only a certain
Yeah,
time, and you can't really replay it unless you got like a
right.
VHS tape or
Yeah. No,
DVDs
now
or
you're going back
these.
a little bit.
Well, I still remember VHS. So I was
Yes.
born in the mid 1980s. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you look very young, obviously, and the '80s isn't that old either. I mean, if I if
well,
I
it's
if I
getting
knew
there,
that,
but.
Yeah, if I do that, then I'm going to feel real old real quick,
Mm,
like, because I really was 70s, is when I was
mm,
growing up. But and that's a whole different thing too. But a lot of things about the 80s I really loved. I love the
mm.
music, and
Yeah, I have a cousin
and
that loves 80s music. That's for certain.
right, right.
Mhm.
Like I've been listening a lot lately to the Pretenders and stuff like that, and different types of rock. I like all music, but music really is, and that's art too.
Yep.
And it's healing, and I mean we can identify with music, and that's a really great opportunity. Now, what I did this morning too, I like to start my days with a routine. I do. I
Mm,
do get up early, and I got to say thank you so much for being up, raring to go, because you were up
yeah.
earlier than just a half an hour before. I could tell that this
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, I wanted to wake up to make sure I'm fully awake for this and not just talking
Right.
like God. Yeah, it's a that's
I
not
recently did that. There was a challenge by a person that I'm mentoring with, and that's Evan Carmichael.
mm,
And he did a challenge. Okay, do a video the second that you wake up and take a video of yourself waking up and still groggy and stuff. And doing that because, hey, uh, we're always concerned, we can be, excuse me,
yeah.
concerned about what other people think. And so it's like your hair is all messy and stuff like this. Like, I can't do that. No,
Well,
no,
mine is
no.
a bit messy right now, but
But it's like, it really doesn't matter. It's about taking that leap of faith, because you just don't care about, well, we care about what people think, but if they don't like us because our hair's poofy and our eyes are drowsy because we just woke up, it's like, well, doesn't everybody look
is
like that
is
when they first wake up? Uh,
yeah, and you're doing the live for a reason. You're trying to send a
yeah.
message, so
Yeah, yeah. It's important to be focused. One of the things, of course, that I've learned is that early in the morning and late at night, that is really the most opportune time to learn things that go
mm,
directly, really, right into your subconscious mind. Because what we find is that what's been determined is that really we operate really only on about 5% of our conscious mind,
mm,
but that other 95% is coming from our subconscious, which is the tapes that we're playing.
mm,
And I know for myself, some of these tapes that I would play weren't good tapes. They weren't positive. They weren't self-affirming. They were very self-limiting.
mm,
And so I had to work, and that's part of my routine that I'm trying to get to here, is to say that part of my routine is to get up early, be thankful for the day, say a prayer. I do,
mm,
and be grateful for a brand new day. And then so I say a little prayer. Then the first thing I do, besides get coffee, is to listen to motivational or empowerment type of broadcasting.
mm,
And so that is when it starts putting into your self-conscious, and then it helps to replace. If you do it enough, it'll replace that negative stuff. And because what I found is that we really do operate off of our subconscious.
mm,
That's what we do. And some of the stuff that we learned, and that was really learned at a young age, you know,
yeah.
from, go ahead. You got something to say about that?
I
If you
wish
don't,
that
that's
it
fine. I'll keep
vanished.
on
So,
carrying. I mean, I got notes right here. I do. I had to do notes.
yeah,
For a long time, I haven't been doing notes. I just, right off the top of my head, have a thought,
yeah.
whatever the
I
topic
tried to
is.
do that with my own random live streams, but it for
Yeah.
me it just wasn't working out. I need some sort of like outline, a structure
Structure,
beforehand. So,
structure, structure is important, and that's what I was talking
yeah,
about, the routine. And so that part of that, continuing with the routine, is okay. Positive information into the brain
hmm,
first thing in the morning, and the last thing at night is the best opportunity to really put good stuff into our mind. And we do that enough, then that's going to come out, and that's going to then be our experience in our conscious thinking hours.
yeah,
Um, and there was a book that I just ordered it. I went to Amazon this morning because I was learning about this morning, by Joseph Rodriguez. I don't know if you've heard of him or not, but he's really good, really, really good. But he talked about the 7 Day Mental Diet by Emmett Fox. And so I
Okay.
ordered that book in, and it's really, really good. And so I'm looking forward to learning from that as well, because it talks about, and that's the last 2 days I've been talking about. Well, Affirmation Monday is about saying the affirming thoughts.
Yeah.
Empowerment Tuesday is about affirming those positive things and taking action to do something about it. But it was the subconscious mind versus the conscious mind. And so, knowing that the subconscious mind is the important factor here, we have to put good stuff in there if we want good stuff in our life. And I think
Yeah.
that
There's
you've
a lot of junk
done
out
that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, because we are a product of our environment. And I never believed that, but in fact, we
Yeah.
are. We're a product, and that stuff got recorded in our brain at an early age, and particularly those people.
Then,
Uh, Go ahead.
then also just the typical thing you hear with the five people you hang around most with, you end up being like them. So it's good to be a
Exactly.
little bit choosy, but
Right.
not
It
rude
is
about it.
important. Yeah, I mean, it is important to surround yourself with the kind of people you want to be like. I agree with that 100%. Now, you've surrounded yourself with some really important and thought-provoking leaders with the next Impactor. Tell us about that experience.
Oh gosh, I did not know what I was getting myself into at the very start of it because it was just something brand new. It was the first season. It was like, oh, wasn't even sure I wanted to join at first because
Right?
the whole reason I went in, the thing only just started like a few months ago when
Mm-hmm.
like a month or two ago when the idea came up because I was attending one of the what's the word I'm looking for,
Conference?
business
Or
networking events by
a
one of the
networking?
co-producers.
Okay.
He told me about it and said, "Hey, I should join." And I wasn't sure at first, but then again, leap of faith, and well,
Mm-hmm.
fourth place, and with the whole
Yeah.
platform being of not limiting ourselves by our labels, and man, my brain's
It's okay.
yeah,
It was
it's
about,
early in the morning. It's
yeah,
early
no,
in the
that's
morning,
it
so
is. But it was
so
about making an impact, and it was
yeah,
about making an impact in a positive manner, I
yeah.
think, you know. Um, and obviously you made a major impact by being in the top five.
Yeah, I just, I kept pushing forward even though I just wasn't sure at times, doubting myself, and I still do. And it's
Hmm.
still, and you just have to realize it's just a work in progress. So, okay, what is about this? And, just flip the coin, so to speak, to look at the
Right.
positive side instead of the negative. And for me, I just kept feeling lucky every single time I got to that next tier, and yet that became less and thinking, okay, maybe I can do this, and then of course, life has a way of throwing stuff at you, such as another death in the family during in the middle of it,
Hmm.
but eventually I just kept pushing
Yeah.
through.
That is the important factor. And,
Yeah,
and and that's the message that we want to send, because if you're experiencing the same kinds of things that we've been talking about this morning, it is about pushing through. Even though we can make mistakes, sometimes we can.
yeah,
I recognize that those mistakes are actually taking us one step closer to our success, if we'll allow it. And
yeah,
like you said, Christopher, it is about mindset. It's about what we think. And what we think and in our subconscious will come out in our conscious living. And um, I had a thought there too, because you triggered me to think about how um, you just stepped outside the box. You decided that you were going to take it on no matter what. And so you weren't afraid of even if there was some negative consequences, what might happen, because you knew that you were going to grow and learn from that.
well, yeah, and also there was also something else that very oh, right, there we go again. Gary
That's all right.
Vaynerchuk said one time with
Yeah,
one of those videos I watched, and he said that
right.
if you want to feel inspired to just do that, just go to an old folks home and just look at the eyes of a person that's, on their last years or
Yeah,
months and see the regret in their eyes of, oh, I wish I could have done this when I had the chance. And that's
right.
part, I guess that kind of went the, maybe did went in the subconscious with me wanting to push through even further, despite all of it. Just whatever it is I'm going through, just, okay, get over it, and now just take those next steps.
What would you say to particularly our younger generation? Because they're the people that need to be inspired to actually care about life enough to try and do something. What would you tell them?
Oh man, what do I?
Now, I have to apologize because I didn't send you kind of an outline or information here, and I do apologize for that.
Yeah, it's
Um,
fine. Puts me
you
on
know,
the
things are
spot. You make
hectic,
me.
but impromptu and just being yourself is what this is all about. It really is. That's what my broadcasts are about. It's just that transparency, that honesty, and experiential
Yeah,
type of
cause
thing.
yeah, cause with me, it's like everything coming in at once in my head is something, me trying to filter it out.
Right. Now, I know that you said
Um,
that in the past in some of these meetings that we've been in on the volunteer board. You're just
yeah.
getting such a heavy flow of information, and it's like, okay, time to sort it out. How, what's the technique that you use best to do that?
Um, Usually saying, well, recently I've just been saying like a trigger word that gets me like, okay, out, boom, okay, I'm outside that little box that I put myself in with all this information, so now I could look at it from an outside perspective and just easily see, okay, I'll go with this, and see what happens, and then go from there. But as for advice,
Yeah.
it's crap. It was just there.
Hey, don't feel bad. I do the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody does. It's like,
it's just because you are where you're at now doesn't mean you're going to be staying there forever, and it just depends on you to just step out and be you instead of just because when you step out, you eventually will find your own tribe, so to speak, instead of just staying with the old tribe that doesn't necessarily be a positive tribe, so to speak. So just
hmm
to keep pushing yourself, and you'll end up discovering you're going to end up going through a lot of growing pains, but you're also going to have tons of opportunities to grow instead of just withering away.
Right, right. Well, I
So
think you said a couple important things here. I think you said that number one, you have a word that triggers you to go to another place to kind of step outside of what's going on at that moment to regroup yourself. And I think that that is super important because those are the kinds of techniques I use myself as well. When you're having some negative thoughts or you're being overwhelmed, it is an opportunity right then and there to stop because you've got to stop your thinking and then redirect your thinking to something that is more positive and that will get you back onto track.
yeah, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's more of a recent thing I've been learning and still continuing to learn. So
Right, right. That's where I think the 7 day mental diet is really going to come in handy for me. And I'm planning on actually blogging about that. I listened to um, Joseph Rodriguez this morning, and in a 24-minute tape, I still didn't even get past about 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes took me about 30, because I had to stop, back it up, and absorb it.
yeah,
And that also triggered something that I recognize, and I have always known that when you write things down, you get a higher comprehension level. But when you're just sitting listening to a speech, you get some main points, but you don't get all of it by any stretch. So a matter of looking at that,
Yeah,
and we, yeah, and go
it's
ahead.
one thing to just listen. Then there's another thing to actually listen, so to speak, and actually
Yeah.
let it stay in instead of going out through one ear and out the other.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. So it takes practice. I know that it
Yeah,
does take practice. But I like to take it a step further myself as well, and improve that comprehension level by doing more research, slowing it down, backing up, and so that same kind of principle applies in a daily aspect of living. That yeah, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here, and then end up in that tape of, oh my God,
yeah. Just
you
take a
know.
step back, so to speak, and then
Ex-
regroup.
hmm Exactly. I
Yeah,
agree
some of the
100%.
and for
I
me, it's
I know.
also sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I know that our life really is, and the way that we act is a result of our thinking, and so that it is all about our mindset and our perspective, and so it's a constant learning process of adjusting our mindset to achieve the kind of goals that we want to have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, So I want you to tell us, because you really are a leader. You're a leader in many, many ways. But as leadership as a whole, how do you um, describe leadership? What do you think is a good leader?
Oh, oh boy. There we go again. It happens every time.
You have a few
Crap.
thoughts there? Because there's a lot to think about, there is. But maybe
Yes.
just one thing that, um, stands out to you as, what do you like to see in a good leader?
Um, I don't know. For me, I just like being able to just listen, so to speak. Just
Listen.
listen, and instead of just blindly going off on an assumption, just okay, just try to see the full situation as best I can, since all of us, we all have a limited perspective, so to speak, on life. And so
Yes.
it's
I think we all possess
with,
self-limiting thoughts. I think that that's a reality.
yeah, our own perspectives, our own inevitable bias, because we only have that one point of view that we have our own preconceptions on. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's good to try your best to just step back, listen, and
Hmm.
see the situation as it is instead of what you think it should be or want it to be, and just go from
Yeah.
there.
Exactly. Now, I wanted to mention say a couple comments. I also want to make sure that everybody that might be coming in on the broadcast, the reason why I am inside, which is not normal, is I think the very first time in a couple, almost 2 years we're coming up on, that I've been inside and done my broadcast in the morning. It's a sunrise broadcast, but folks, there's no sunrise this morning. It's raining out there,
Yeah,
okay? Um,
it's too cold here too. So
it's too cold there, you know. Welcome. I just want to say welcome to our the people that are watching too, and I'm going to read a couple comments here as well. Christopher, Sani Chu, thank you so very much. Sani is part of our administrative team as well,
hey
for the
there.
Live with Nature, and she's coming to us from Melbourne, Australia.
Oh,
Now,
nice.
Adam Shelton, he is our dyspraxic champion. He's been on this Mental Health Wednesdays now a couple times. And so he deals with dyspraxia, which is apparently in the spectrum of autism as well, I understand. And so what he's saying is that, and he considers himself a first for mental health first aider. So he's reaching out. He's also an author too, and he's reaching out to others to try and help them, just like you have and are. And you're doing it, healing through art. I will mention that again. Um, so he says, that as a first aider, that you need to keep on reaching out and constantly talking with people, and so put
Yeah,
yourself around that support. network. Yeah, absolutely. Jeffrey Stiles joined us this morning as well. Adam says, again, leap of faith is essential, and I cannot wait to take the next step in his life.
Yeah, go for it. What do you have
Yes,
to lose?
exactly. Gigi Dimicino, thank you so very much. Now, I know Gigi from, I don't know if you're familiar with the Live Masters group or not.
Um,
It's the Mike Chavez, and he does a question of the day. And
mm,
so he kind of makes you think about things and then gives you an opportunity in a private setting to be able to do a video and answer that question of the day.
okay.
And in a setting where you don't have to worry about, people saying, oh, that sucked. Although I don't care if people say it sucked. Hey, that's the way it was,
Mm,
that's fine. Tell me how I sucked so I can
mm.
maybe make it better.
Yeah, as long
Um,
as it's constructive criticism instead of just, pounding you down.
Exactly. Well, some people want to pound us down, particularly the more impact that we make. They want to try and rock our boats, but recognizing that that's the fact, if that's the step back, oh, that's what they're trying to do. Okay, I'll
Mm.
just smile, and say, okay, okay, right, yeah, wrong.
Yeah, yeah, apply a little stoicism in there.
Exactly. So I know Gigi from the Live Masters. She is just such a wonderful person, and I'm
Mm,
just so proud to be her friend. Melissa Osborne's really been speaking out. She's a
mm,
regular viewer here. She's coming from New York, and by the way,
mm,
Gigi is coming
okay.
from Long Island,
Mm,
and she's from Marathon, by the way. Melissa is,
mm,
so we appreciate Melissa being a part of this too as well. Adrian Costo joined us. Manny Laverty. Now, I did a get to know with
okay.
Manny Laverty last week. Such a dynamic guy. Um, and he actually, I'm just so blessed. He's working with us. He is one of our executives with Live with Nature,
Mm,
and he's like an IT guru, and so he's
mm,
helping me build my websites, and he's doing such a fabulous job. So now he's coming also from London, and so yeah, we got the world covered here pretty much. We just need somebody from Africa, correct? That's all we do.
mm.
Kimberly Lechnick.
Yeah,
And
she was just on earlier, but
she's one of your friends, right?
yeah.
And so she says she's going to teach, so she'll catch the replay, and we appreciate her
Hmm.
coming in. So thank you so very much. Victoria McGregor. Rita, have you ever seen Victoria's broadcasts?
I believe once or I believe a few times during the competition. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, she's
yeah.
she's really good. Yeah, I enjoy watching her.
I
Sandra
need to catch up
Hall.
with that.
Yeah,
I really should catch up with that.
Wednesdays. It's Wednesdays. It's on my calendar. I saw it earlier. I want to say around noon.
Mm.
There's another answer. Just go to her, Facebook page, and I'm sure
Yeah.
we,
Okay.
we can find out. So yeah, she's really good. Sandra Hall said hello to us. She was
Hey.
watching. Ray Coates was watching. Yale Drawer was watching. Christopher, of course, you're here with us, and I'm so glad that
Yeah.
you are. I really have been looking forward to
This.
this, Christopher. Go ahead. It's your turn
Yeah.
now.
I'm just. Yeah. I just want to say, hey, glad to be here. It's kind of good to get, well, doing something out of the comfort zone in a way here with doing a live stream early in the morning. Even though, well, I
Yeah.
did do it once or twice before, but it was me out and it was just eating up data like candy. So I just had to.
Yeah, I guess it does that. Yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Now, but you do through Autistic Eyes.
Hmm.
That's a live stream. Tell us about that.
Well, that actually started with very early in the competition where one of the competitors, Teresa Snyder, she has her own live stream show.
Okay.
Lauren Harris with Bathroom Moments, and of course,
Yeah.
my the coach of the team I was in, Jason Cisneros, with the Bald Avenger, and I saw, interviewing other team members, and I thought, we always talk about, hey, go Team Jason, but we never really talked much about who we actually are. So,
Mm-hmm.
and before, I tried doing like a live stream talking, but it didn't go well because, I was still in that zone, so to speak, of
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I could really do this, but I end up pushing myself, and
A little bit of self-doubt going on there, but
yeah, self doubt. It still crops up from time to time, but
mm-hmm.
it's always
Yeah.
going to be like that because you know your mind's just going to want to keep you in that comfort zone, even though it ends up making
Yeah.
you miserable. So,
Right, right, exactly.
so
And
in this case, I decided to talk to talk to the team, saying, "Hey, how about we do these?" And they were up for it, and it just evolved from there. And then all of a sudden, I got people from other teams saying, "Hey, let's do an interview with me as well." And it just kept growing from there. And I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna make this a regular thing. So,
okay. So
and
that
just
is
seeing how it.
regular broadcast now, right?
I'm doing
Or
it every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
okay.
Central Standard Time, except for, well, after today, because I'm going to be halfway across the world and streaming's not good for that,
When are you taking off
for
for this
me.
trip?
The 26th in the
Okay.
evening,
All
taking
right.
like an overnight flight. So,
Mm.
so
And you're
until
going
January,
to again, tell us,
Cambodia and Thailand.
Cambodia. Wow. Awesome. Now see, that's really stepping outside the box.
Yeah.
What do you how are you feeling about this flight? Does that give you some anxiety at all or no?
um, well, I'm terrified of heights, so as long as I don't get the
Oh.
window view looking down, but
Welcome
you
to the
know,
club.
but you know, I could always just bring up the Kindle and
Yeah,
read, and or in this case, it's an overnight flight, so I'm probably going to be possibly sleeping throughout it.
right,
So
right. Awesome. So yeah, that's I'm so proud of you, and I'm envious. I got to tell you that because this is going to be quite a dynamic adventure for you, no doubt.
yeah, it's definitely the big comfort outside the comfort zone for me doing something as big as this. But if you want to
Well,
do
yeah,
great things,
you have to take action, don't you?
yep, it's all about taking action and
It is.
working your best to not hesitate as much. And you know, it's something I still do because it still feels like I'm at the beginning stages, so to speak, with this. But you know, you
Well,
only have one life.
and you only have one day at a time. If
Yeah,
we wake up that day, then actually we have that opportunity then to try and do something about that. And that really
yeah,
is, part of the whole philosophy of what I do is to give people the opportunity to have a routine, to wake up, to be grateful for a brand new day, to try and put
yeah,
positivity into their brain, and to, say positive affirmations, to empower themselves to take action
yeah,
on their dreams and goals, like you have. And then today to talk about things that, mental health situations that we experience. And then tomorrow, it's all about being thankful. Although
yeah,
every day I'd be thankful, but tomorrow my broadcast is on thankfulness and being grateful for what's going on and what's happening in our lives. And then on Friday, I wrap it with the Love Fridays. And who doesn't love Friday?
yeah. Well,
So
for me,
go
it's just
ahead.
another day to just continue with work, just
Yes.
getting things organized.
Exactly. And so that's I'm really proud of you. I'll say that again because anybody that takes action is trying to improve their life, is
Yeah,
the bottom line because it was like you said, step out
yeah,
of the box,
yeah.
do
Body,
something.
mind, spirit, work on it.
And that's that absolutely spectacular. Um, I really appreciate you taking time to come and join us this morning. You've got a big
Yeah,
day
no
coming up.
problem.
Tell us about that. You've got a couple more lives coming here.
Yeah, Bathrobe Moments by Lauren Harris. That's at
Oh,
8 p.m.
oh,
Well, not 8 p.m. This 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Central Standard Time.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
going
on
to
the
be on
same
this
time
show
zone.
to talk more about the trip, and then
Oh,
Thru Autistic Eyes at 7 p.m.
okay.
Central Standard Time. I'm having, the two big heads of Chemo Buddies for Life that you're a part of, actually. We're both a
Yeah,
part of,
right,
for
right.
the talking about the Giveathon that's going to be happening on December 2nd and 3rd. So,
Right. That's so awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. That's a great event. You'll certainly want to tune into us on
Yep.
December 3rd, Giving Tuesday. You're going to be doing some live video, is that not correct?
Well, actually, since
Or
I'm going to be halfway
is it
across the
recorded?
world
Oh,
by
you're
that
oh,
time,
that's
so
right.
I just
Okay.
got done with the recording
Okay.
last night with the artist friend of mine. We just teamed up on it
Yeah.
to start off with the Healing Through Arts, and
Mhm.
I'm going to be finishing the last remaining few little bits, and
Mhm.
then I should be set to, start putting it together tomorrow.
Awesome. Awesome. And those are the kinds of skills that you have is this graphics art background. And so
Yeah. Yeah, I
that's
started off with getting the associates in graphic design at a community college, and then went to
mhm.
Purdue to get the bachelor's degree in CGT, which stands for computer graphics technology. So that incorporates a bunch of different things, such as graphic design, but also in my case, computer animation, and
Oh,
also did a little bit of video work. So
you got a very bright future. Very,
yeah,
very bright future.
as long as I
Um,
keep going. So that's up to
well,
me.
yeah, and sometimes, we have to be good to ourselves.
Yeah.
So, when we get to the point where, yeah, it's a little bit on the overload, that's the time to step back for a moment.
Yeah,
We
and
need to do
sometimes
that
just
sometimes.
try different things. Like, for
Yeah.
instance, I never thought I'd be looking up Eastern philosophy, but I'm really enjoying it. And as long as I keep going over it and keep applying those practices, I'm seeing the improvements. So, and also stuff like a more healthy diet for me, for instance, instead
Hmm.
of just going fast food all the time and making excuses to say, oh, it's cheaper, but I'm plant-based diet to be just as cheap, really, as long as you do the research. Because for instance, taking those B12 vitamins, but of
Hmm.
course it depends on what kind of B12, because some of them do have animal products in them. So I learned that out, and
Okay.
so
So, yeah, it's about,
it's interesting learning new things all the time.
well, yeah, and so you're talking about having learned about some of these vitamins, and some are better than others. And
Well, not necess- well, it depends on how you view things. Because for someone that's
okay,
just on a regular diet, it's no big deal. But
right.
for those
If we,
that, for me, I just did it as more of a challenge, so to speak, and
right.
along with having a cheaper bill with the food and whatnot. But
Okay, there you go. And talking about growing your own herbs and stuff like that to spice it
yep,
up a bit. Yeah, that's
yep,
really
just a
awesome.
little bit
There,
of spice. I like a little bit of flavor in my meals.
there you go. And our life, right?
Yep,
Okay,
the spice of life.
exactly. That's so wonderful. I just wanted to mention now, Tabitha Loris had come in. She's
Hey
really
there.
awesome as well. So we've been talking about autism. We've been talking about learning how to function with things that we're experiencing in our life, how to slow ourselves down, step back out of moments where it's like overload, and I think all of us go through that.
Yeah.
And Christopher has given us some wonderful advice, and I really appreciate that. You've got
Could
something
I
else?
could I just mention one more thing, because it is something I
Absolutely.
recently saw, because I'm
Yeah.
part of some Facebook groups with an autistic community, and there are some
Yeah.
that do get depressed and find it really a struggle to go through with autism, and some even wish there was just a cure for their condition. But the thing to keep in mind
Right.
is, when you're getting rid of, if you think killing yourself is going to get rid of one set of problems, you're just going to get another set of problems. Problems are always going to come at you, so it's just
Mhm.
more of just learning to adapt and see it as a growing opportunity. And I know that can be very tough to keep that in mind when it's really stressful, because it's stressful for me, especially recently. But you
Mhm.
just have to roll with the punches, and just try your try your best to keep things in perspective. And I know one of the things what I've been working on and been doing a good job until now is not saying the word try, but it's not try, just do.
It is just to, yeah, try. You're not sure. when you're just trying. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. So
And it
what
puts
you
and it implants a seed of uncertainty in your mind, which is
it
going to hinder
does.
you. So
It does subliminally. Yeah, it does. And so that's where positive affirmation really comes in. I mean, and you got to be specific. I mean, I even catch myself saying some things that aren't, I think they're positive, but in fact they're not. When you say I may achieve this,
yeah,
that's not gonna
may that's the thing.
it ain't gonna get it isn't gonna cut it. It's I am achieving greatness. I am a positive influence. I am achieving my dreams and my goals.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am
yeah.
taking action. Those
You're,
kinds of things.
yeah, you're essentially just creating your own mantra, so to speak,
Yes,
your own
exactly.
saying.
Yeah, we do it on Mondays. We do. And so you're going to be, I just want to let everybody know if you came in, we're inside because it's raining here in Sarasota. And the bottom line is, I really appreciate everybody that comes. I want you to go and I want you to see Christopher. He's got a big day coming up. If you're just joining us, please go back and look at the replay. Great information in this broadcast. And I'm beyond grateful to Christopher for getting up early and coming and joining us here in Sarasota, because even though it's freezing there, he's right
Yeah,
here right now, but he's there, but he's here. So thank you.
yep. Yeah, no
Um,
problem. Anytime.
yeah. Now, I also want to let everybody know, please go and watch him. He's on Lauren Harris, Bathrobe Moments. What a great show. Love Lauren. I just
Yeah.
love that intro that he does. I just laugh and smile, and it just, he's
Good
so good.
morning.
He's just got the greatest attitude. I just love that. And he just has a way of pulling out great information out of the guests that he has. So be prepared for that,
Yeah, he's
Christopher.
gonna pull information out of me
He
later.
is going to. Watch, it'll
Yeah.
happen.
I've
And
already been on his show once
oh,
before. It was
had
during
you?
the next Impactor, actually,
Okay.
because he was
Yeah.
interviewing all the contestants. So,
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he's got a great style.
yeah.
And so you want to join Christopher and Lauren for that show, and then this evening, and that's actually 8 o'clock Central Time this morning, a.m. East, yeah, Central Time. Too used to
Yeah.
saying Eastern Standard.
Yeah.
Richard Fay, by the way, just joined us for a moment. Do you want to go
Hey
back,
there.
Richard Fay? Richard Fay understands the things that you're experiencing. He is an author as well. He's reaching out. He's trying to help people, and you guys should really connect. He is
Yeah.
autistic as well. He's high
Yeah.
functioning
Sure.
autistic. So yeah, that's excellent. I'm so glad that you joined us here this morning. Go back, everybody. Please take a look at this video. Lots of just really helpful information. So we appreciate everybody that comes to take time to join us this morning. If you want to go ahead, you can cut out at this point here, Christopher. I know you got to get ready for the
Yeah.
next broadcast.
What time is
I
it
don't know.
actually?
I
Oh, I got about
stepped out.
a little
You got
less
a
than
little bit
two
of time.
hours, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got about an hour 45 right now
Yeah.
to work towards that. If you haven't had breakfast, have breakfast. A good meal is always a good
Well, I
thing
kind
too.
of ate late, so I'm not exactly hungry just yet. But
Okay. Well, yeah. You want to see that. You do want to do that. Now, we are going to be doing a get to know with you as well. I want to make sure that I didn't forget that part. That part's not in my notes. In my head, it's on my calendar. On the 19th, correct?
uh, the trip is actually on the 26th.
Yeah, no, we're doing a get
Oh,
to
oh, right.
know on my evening show, as I
Oh, right.
recall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, that's going to be on the 19th.
Hmm.
I want to say what, next Tuesday, I think it is. So November 19th, please do join us because we're going to get to know Christopher Casson even better. And you want to get to know Christopher, I promise you do. And particularly people like Richard, people like Adam. Let's get you guys connected up because you can all help to continue to help other people. So the 19th, 7 o'clock, 7:30, excuse me, Eastern Standard Time in the evening, PM. We'll be back with Christopher. So please do join us for that.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
that's so
Looking
awesome.
forward
Thank
to
you,
it.
everybody, for joining us this morning. We do appreciate you. Take care. everybody have a great day, and know that it is all about mindset and what you think and how you apply your positive thinking to your life, and that you do have the opportunity to really enjoy life. And Christopher is a classic example of how you can step outside the box. Do you have any final
Yeah.
thoughts there for us?
Yeah, just realize that you are going to make mistakes down the line. That's unavoidable. So just just take it as a learning opportunity, because that's a lesson I'm still working on applying every day. Okay, something that didn't go as well as I wanted to happen, so okay, what are you going to do about it then? Are you just going to sit there, or are you actually going to say, okay, how can I turn this around? Or, okay, what other things could I do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. Apply that to your life, and just let's enjoy life. Everybody have a great day. It is Happy Wednesday. And of course, it's Mental Health Wednesday right here in LWN Live with Nature. Now, the last thing I want you to do, you have a website, that's correct?
Yes, it's basically my name, www.christophercasson.com. It's it's my photography business. I do events and commercial. Hey, imagine that, an autistic doing something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it, and I've just been learning of when to step back a bit and just recoup, because sensory overload and whatnot. But I've just been pushing myself as best I can, and it can be rather tough, but I also enjoy it at the same time. So
There you go. And I just want to let you know that there's such another dynamic guest just joined us, Ritu Bali, and she is
hey
from
there.
Oman, by the way.
Oh, Oman.
So,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
Middle
so,
East.
yes, the Middle
I'm
East.
trying to
Yeah.
remember, because I used to, as a kid, try to memorize all the
Muscat.
different countries and whatnot. So I remember was it, was it right by Saudi Arabia, by the
It
Gulf?
is.
Or
It
yeah,
is.
yeah. Okay.
She's saying
Yes.
Muscat, and so I need to kind of even look at that. I mean, I think maybe she was in is I'm not even sure. Why don't you could clarify that for everybody, Richo, if you wanted.
Muscat. That must be a city name or something,
I
because I
I
don't recall that as a country name.
okay, there we are. But you know what? She's really super dynamic. She's a great author. She's a published author as well too.
Hmm.
And it's all these are the kind of great people that are all part of our community. Um, and it's just I am so blessed. I just have to say I'm blessed to be able to have people like Christopher, Ritu, Sonny, Adam, Richard, and everybody else that came to join us this morning for this broadcast. It's a little bit out of the normal routine because of the rain, so nonetheless it is what it is, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you. And so take care, have a yes, we'll see you soon. Take
Yep.
care. Go back,
Take
watch
care.
the replay. Now we'll be on YouTube as well, and we'll get it up
Oh.
as quickly as I
Oh.
can.
Okay.
It will. It'll be on YouTube. Bear with me, folks, because I've got to do some catch up. All right.
Yeah, I gotta
I
catch up on
do.
a
I
lot
do.
of things as well, especially with the trip coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
a lot
gotta.
of
I
preparation.
just. I'm. I have help, but my help is in the areas of other areas that I'm not doing. I am the production crew. I am the
We're
host.
in a
I
similar
am
boat then.
I do a whole bunch of a lot of it, and I have a regular full-time job on top of that. I have
Mm.
two full-time jobs, my regular
Oh,
day job, and this is my other full-time job. But I just love doing this part of it. This is where my passion is to be able to bring people like yourself on camera and us talk and learn and grow. And that's the fun part. So,
yeah. For me,
yeah.
I just had the photography job because, first starting off, I was just struggling to find even a part-time job, and that's not exactly uncommon for people on the autistic spectrum, or even to even
Yeah.
keep the job. So for me, I
Right.
was just frustrated with the interview process, because, me talking, and you think I was a bit of a jittery mess right at the beginning of this? Well, back then I was like, and it didn't make a good impression. I was just getting so frustrated, and eventually I just, you know what, create my own job and just go from there, jump in, even though I never ran a business before in my entire life. But you know what, jump in and see what happens. And well, I'm learning a lot of things, some the
Hmm.
hard way, and some through the, you know, I always like calling him Coach Jason, and
Hmm.
he does have his own program with Anton J with the 12-week course. So I'm still
Right.
going through that on uh, starting week 9 out of 12. So I'm learning so
There you
much that I
go.
wish I had from the very beginning. But hey, better now than ever.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It is about stepping out there. It is nice to be self-employed. There's no doubt about that. I've kind of been an independent agent myself in a lot of the
mm,
stuff I've always done, but it isn't the easy way by any stretch. Isn't the
no,
easy
it
choice.
isn't.
No.
But it's so satisfying when it goes well.
It is, but as we connect, and we are community here, the Sunrise Daybreakers,
Mhm.
we connect with people that are willing to help people of all races, colors, creeds, and situations that are going on in their life. And we just need more people like that. And the more that we shine the bright light of actually loving everybody and sharing our experiences together, we become very powerful.
Yeah.
And we can change the world, and that's what we're working on. We are working on making this place a better place to be. People like Christopher are doing that. All right,
I'm in the
everybody.
beginning stages, but you
Well,
gotta start somewhere.
it's better than the no stage and
Yeah.
sitting there binge watching all TV forever, right? Although that could be fun. I'm not gonna. I love TV. I'm
Well,
not gonna say I don't.
well, I was in the video games, but eventually it got to a point of, you know, all these accomplishments that just they don't really do anything for the world, so to speak. So I'm just
Right.
finding this
Well,
better.
I will admit I said I love TV. I do. But
Yeah.
I love TV, but I also recognize that that is an escape. But I'm not saying that we don't need to have things that we
Yeah.
need, because we need to take
It's
care of
it,
ourselves. So yeah, that's my
it's good
escape.
to have
That's
the
my
escape,
shutout
but
reality. I'll just watch TV and
hmm,
and I love nature, as everybody knows. So I'll be watching the Discovery Channel
yeah,
or History or something
it's
like
good to
that.
have an escape, but it's not good to delve yourself too deeply that you bury yourself into it. So,
That's right, because it is about balance, is it not?
yeah,
It is about moderation. I mean, I think moderation is the key word there.
finding that middle way.
Yes, excellent. All right, let's let you go. Let's
Yeah,
say thank you again. We do appreciate everybody. Take
yeah.
care. Thank you so very
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. We do say, I don't know if you have a higher power or not. I'll say a quick prayer if you don't mind.
Yeah,
You have a
sure.
problem with that? Okay, awesome. So I do like to end in a prayer.
Mhm.
I was trying to decide whether I did or whether I didn't because it's a little bit different format that took place this morning. But so let's just do that because I do have a higher power, and my higher power is God. You can call that the creative consciousness or the creative imagination, whatever it is, but whatever it is that created everything that we have here is what I'm referring to. I call that God.
Yeah.
So in my
Yeah,
life,
different
uh,
religions have different names for it, really, when
yeah,
you look at it. So it's just,
they do. I mean, every religion has a different name, but it all really means the same thing.
mhm.
And that's the beautiful of it, beautiful part of it. So I'll just say, thank you, dear Lord, for this evening, or this evening. I did that yesterday morning. Where am I?
Well, you're
It's
here.
e it's evening somewhere. I promise.
Yeah.
Actually, with Sonny, it's evening. She's the
Hmm.
sunset, not the sunrise. So I just say, dear Lord, thank you for bringing Christopher here this morning with us. I so very much appreciate that. I just ask that you would be with all the people that listen to this, the people that come on the replay, and all people in the universe. Hear this message that there is hope, that we do have the ability to be able to overcome the obstacles that we are experiencing in our life, and that we can break through the barriers that used to hold us back, to move forward in a positive manner, that we might be able to become the best person that we can possibly be. And we just ask that you would be in our hearts and be in our life and guide us and keep us safe, particularly keep Christopher safe as he ventures across the country or the world here and goes over to Cambodia and Thailand. Keep him safe. Bless us all. Help us to achieve our dreams and goals in abundance. And I share these words with the universe so that they can support us in these truths. And I say in Jesus' name, amen. And I say namaste, and I say
Mhm.
namaskar because I honor your soul. Thank you very much for joining us
Yeah,
this
thank
morning,
you for
Christopher.
having me here. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
you're very welcome. Awesome. So remember to catch Christopher. He's going to be on Bathrobe Moments with Lauren Harris here. About an hour, I think. We're closing down
Um,
or thereabouts.
about an hour and a half now, so
There you go. All right. So about an hour and a half, Lauren Harris, Bathrobe Moments, and then later this evening at 7 o'clock. Join him.
yep.
And then be with us on the 19th because I'll have Christopher at 7:30 p.m. That's November 19th, 7:30 p.m. We'll be getting to know him even a little bit better. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
This is Stephen Smith, and I am signing off from Sarasota, Florida. Have a great day, and God bless you
Yep.
all. Bye
Yep.
for now.
Take care.
Hmm